afternoon all. Myself, Dr. Sanjay Gapat, and this is our part of continuous webinar series. This is our 6th webinar, and today we have a very eminent speaker for this webinar. And on the occasion of Teacher Day, we planned this webinar. So today our guest is webinar speaker is Dr. Abhijit Mishra, who is a visionary pioneer in the poultry industry, leaving an indelible mark with his remarkable achievements in animal nutrition. Graduating from the prestigious West Bengal University of Animal and Fishery Sciences in 2001, he obtained his master's degree in animal nutrition with exceptional distinction. From the onset of his career in 2003 as a nutritionist, Dr. Mishra exhibited unparalleled expertise in formulating cost-effective, high-quality feeds for broilers, layers, breeders, dairy, aqua, and shrimp. With a wealth of experience and dedication to research and development, Dr. Abhijit Mishra has continuously improved feed formulations for various breeds for the past 20 years. As a lifelong member of esteemed organizations like the Indian Journal of Animal Nutrition and the World Aquaculture Society, Dr. Mishra's contribution to the industry have been widely recognized. His passion for knowledge and continuous learning is evident in his published works, with over 10 papers featured in prestigious journals. Over the years, Dr. Mishra has extended his expertise to provide consultancy to numerous feed mills across India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Myanmar, touching the lives of thousands. Dr. Mishra has played an instrumental role in the success of 25 clients, contributing to an impressive feed production of approximately 60,000 metric tons per month. Beyond consultancy, Dr. Mishra actively contributes to the growth of the industry, serving as a training instructor for a non-governmental organization since 2004. His commitment to sharing knowledge and nurturing talent has inspired many aspiring nutritionists. Throughout the entire career, Dr. Mishra has held significant positions with companies like SKOV and Big Dutchman, solidifying his position as a respected authority in the field. His profound expertise in ventilation for EC sets and his experience in applied nutrition have further enhanced his standing in the industry. With a heart dedicated to volunteer work, Dr. Mishra is involved as a technical expert for poultry and dairy in an NGO, conducting master classes and sharing his wealth of knowledge. His contributions extend beyond professional realms, creating a positive impact on the community and future generations. Dr. Abhijit Mishra's journey is a testament of the power of expertise, dedication, and continuous learning. His passion for improving animal nutrition has transformed the poultry industry, making him an exemplary figure in our poultry industry. So I welcome Dr. Abhijit Mishra for today's webinar. Sir, please.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for this nice introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to me to be here to give some insights of animal nutrition. So, Doctor, please unshare your screen so that I can share my screen. Yeah, thank you. Doctor, could you please confirm that whether the slide is visible or not?
Yeah, it's clearly visible, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. After this nice introduction, it gives me a pleasure to give some lectures on this, on feed formulation strategies. Something people said, maybe when I was in a working conditions or in a college lives, or we could attend these kind of seminars. We could have a thinking that, oh, it's a very simple and we'll get all the strategies in a row and we can implement that. It's as simple as like that. Is it so simple? Yes, it is very simple. It's nothing. Only you have to fulfill the requirements. Then you just put your all the desired parameters. You optimize your nutrition and just give it to the birds. So it's very as simple as like that. If it is so, then perhaps this is the first and last slide for me, so that everyone will be enjoyed with that. But unfortunately, there are lot of factors which contributes, which determines the optimization of the formulation per se. The other parameters played a major role than the optimization of the formulation. So there are n number of variables. The identifications and the resolutions of these visible and the virtual variables are very the major strategies in animal nutrition, because some parameters, some variables that are visible, clearly visible. Yes, I'll go through in the subsequent slides. Some are not. So when as a nutritionist, when we are marking a formulation or when we are preparing a strategies for any nutrition or any part of the nutrition, whether it's a boiler or it's a layer or it's a breeder, we must have to take care of all those variables, and which is the main contributors for any animal nutritionist and also challenges for us as well. So what are the variables? What are the contributing factors? What are the considerable factors? The first factors, that is the genetic progresses, genetic development by the geneticist, who cares only the genetics. As per their laws, we need 1:1 FCR in broilers, you have 500, 600 eggs from a hen. They know only the genetics. Their matters not related to other factors. They don't care for the feed. They don't care for the environments and other factors. Second, the stressors. The birds are continuous in the stress conditions. We need to take care. They have to tackle those stressors. And for that, the nutrition plays a major role to combat those stressors. Raw material quality, the quality definitely it's important parts of the nutrition. The variable of raw materials, which is in our South Asian countries, it's a major burning problem for us because we have a very minimum control on raw materials quality. Second, then it's anti-nutritional factors, which is also a very contributing factors for that. Nutritional requirement is a very vast subject. Perhaps the entire topics is a very big subject where I am working for the last 20 years, which I am going to just share some of them within 1 hour time. But this slides of maybe 50 to 55 slides to that. Ideal amino acid ratios is the latest concept. Some areas in subcontinents, some people believe on that, some not. Okay, as a nutritionist, I believe on ideal amino acid ratios. I thought that might be a considerable factor for that. Vitamin and animal mineral nutrition, again, that's a very vast subject, but I'll definitely try to give some highlights on that. And the gut health maintenance, which is a very well-known topics for last decades. So if you look into a broiler, from the egg to adult in this cycle, you will find this 35% of their time it spends inside the egg. So that means, and only 65% of time it's in outside the egg, that is in the environment. So generally, we think that, okay, we have to take care of those 65% time, we'll go for the broiler nutrition and we'll go for that so that we'll get the desired performance. Yes, we can. But at the same time, there's a 35% time which the birds is spending inside the egg. We must have to take care on that part as well. So it's you can interlinked between the breeder nutrition too and broiler nutrition. So when we are talking about the broiler nutrition, or I should say, when you are talking about the commercial broiler or commercial layer nutrition, we must have to take care of the parent nutrition as well, because parents plays a major role to transfer a lot of things to their offsprings. Now the genetic progresses. It's everyone knows that the fact that in how the broiler was there in 1957. Just I have highlighted some part. It's everyone knows. Many cases we found that same thing. But the main thing is that you see that in time when it was only 900 grams, and now we are getting actually huge of 2.4, 2.5 kg in 30, 32, 33 days. And even in the eggs, when I started my career, I could remember that it was maybe we thought that it's a 200, 220 is the achievable eggs number. Now we are thinking for more than 500. It's easily achievable. So what are the variations? The chicks, newborn chicks, which is perhaps a sterile one. Sometimes it's not, because when it comes from the hatchery, it itself they carry some stressors, like maybe in the infection, maybe in the environmental temperature, maybe others. But when it comes to the farm, when it comes out from the hatchery, it first comes in the stressors. But what kind of stresses? It may be the stress of the environmental stress, maybe heat, maybe cold, maybe wind, maybe pathogenic stresses. Then the feed. Then we provide the feed to them. Are we giving a consistent feed to them? I believe the 90% people will say no, because the feed formulation changes almost every day. How it is? Yes, because we have minimum control on the quality part. So we have to change based on the nutritional parameters it is having, actually it is having. Otherwise, we are giving the undernutrition or we are giving the overnutrition. Both are harmful for that. So if we look for the precise animal precision of nutrition, then definitely we have to change the feed formulations almost every day based on the raw materials quality. Because unlike the Europe or other countries, we have very limited space to get consistent, equal parameters, identical parameters, raw materials in each and every lot. It's very difficult to get. It's not impossible, but very difficult. Then there is light. Yes, there is a lot of light fluctuations are there. Sometimes too much, sometimes less. So the birds get stressed on that. Air movement, yes, birds in the hatchery itself, sometimes they don't get, because I got an opportunity to visit some hatchery where I found that during hatching, the people, they open the door. When I asked them why you have opened the door, sir, the temperature has gone up. To reduce this temperature, I have just opened the door. Yeah, my dear. Yes, you did as per your calculation, but chicks don't like that, because if you open this door, the polluted air it comes inside, and the chicks will be infected. So you have to look into the exhaust part, so that the air movement will be there and the infected air will not come into the checks. The litter in the farm, litter condition, everybody knows the litter condition is optimum litter, getting optimum litter condition is how I don't think. It's very, very tough to get on that. Densities, yes, it's based on sometimes based on our will. We thought that yes, the rates are in market rates are very good. We put 1.2 square feet, 1.1 or 1.2 square feet spaces. Sometimes the rates are not good. We thought yes, we have to give more space. During winter, we give more birds inside. I don't know, because what is the science behind that? They think that yes, if we give more birds, we'll get more numbers, because winters they need less space. I don't think so, because birds need air, fresh oxygen. If we give more birds, if don't give the space, then there will be a problem. Yes, yesterday only I saw a farm when in a brooding conditions on the 6th day broiler, they have opened an entire farm has been allocated for that. And the chicks literally, I told the farmer, okay, my dear, you give a football to the chicks so that they can play well. They will get a huge space for that. So the densities has to be maintained and the space has to be maintained based on the requirement. Genetics, I already mentioned that. Equipment type is sometimes it's on the cage, sometimes I use on a deep litter, sometimes a slat system. So there are a lot of areas are there, so we can do that. Housing, again, some are open, some are semi-house, semi-VC set, some are open set, closed house. So all those things. Labor, it's a big problem for this. Biosecurity, we talk about a lot for last 20 years. Yes, some people have implemented that, and there are a lot of areas that they have to control in that. Temperature, most of the cases we forget about that. We have a thumb rule. Whenever the cold winter is there, we'll give the temperature. If not, then no. But the thing, this 2 days back, I got a call from a Bihar from one of my client doctor. He told me, sir, I told to give the temperature at a 19 days old bird because I found that the birds are very, they are close together and the farm temperature is very late because due to the heavy rain, the temperature fall down. So I told, yes, you have to do that. So these are the things, and also water. Yeah, water quality is varied a lot. So those things we need to take care before the going for any formulation strategies. Now the production pressure. Yes, I already mentioned. Now the genetic potentiality is huge. The tremendous growth is done by the geneticists. Thanks to the geneticist who did that. In 20 years back, we could achieve 1.5 kg. Oh, we are very happy on that. But now it's in 33. I'm just showing you the real picture what my clients has got. It's in 33 days, 2.45 kg body weight with 1.428 cm. In 43 days, 3.3 kg. It's a huge number. So we don't know what next. How are we are going that? Even in layers, yes, it's from I have taken from a journal. It's in 2015 study. You see that in 100 weeks they got 500 eggs. So you could easily understand the genetic potentiality of those birds. Now, to achieve all those things, control, to get all those parameters, we have to depend a lot on the quality control. I generally believe, and I also in any training session, I told that yes, quality it's a major support staff for us. Quality it acts as a referee. These two main parameters quality papers have. Yes, what does the quality do? Everyone knows. It identifies the ingredient with a higher nutritional value than with relatively low cost. That means it gives us the option to choose the alternative raw materials. So, for example, I'm just telling you, nowadays, few days back, we had a rice DDGS in India, which was almost 40 more than 45% protein. You will get hardly 34, 35 rupees a kilo. Now, when the government is banned to supply rice to the ethanol factories, people have shifted to the corn DDGS, that is maize DDGS. And now we are getting maize DDGS at a very cheap rate. It's 18, 19 rupees a kilo, where we have a 28, 30 to 30% of protein. So another thing is that here the problem is we have a inconsistency. Consistency is in question mark. So in that case, the quality people, they only can guide us to get the actual parameters, what the parameters we are looking for, whether it is having a higher toxins or not, whether it is meeting our parameters or not. Then second thing is it reduces the cost of safety margins. When you do not have any, as a nutritionist, yes, I am working for many countries. I have a lot of client base on that. That many people they don't have the lab. So what to do? Then in that case, on an immediate basis, we have to go with a safety margins. That means we will go for some we would say in quantity is an example. If it is coming as 28 to 30% protein, we will take an example. Okay, 28 is the lower margin we take. In case of soybean meal, it's a normal soybean meal. If it is having a, you can say, or it's a high pro soy, it should say, it's having a 48 to 50% of protein, we'll go for a 40-80% protein with 2.95% digestive total lysine. The question is, this everything does costs. Cost matters. So if we go for the safety margin, we are doing a harms in two ways. Number one, my client is losing money. Economical loss is there. Second thing, birds don't want safety. Birds want precise nutrition. They don't want more. They want actual. So we are not able to provide actual nutrition if we do not have any quality control or quality parameters on that. Maintaining consistency of the feed, that is also important for to have. Enhance the quality image. Yes, if we have a consistent quality, then definitely people will say, yes, these company, they are having a consistent quality throughout the year. So your brand image will be, yes, we can optimize our formulation. And in case of, it will give us the purchase considerations as well, because whenever we are giving the parameters, our purchase departments, they are purchasing the particular raw materials which is actually the getting our or start matching with our standard. And in that way, we can manage our feed production in a much better way. And why it is in referee? I thought it's in support staff. Yes, it's support staff for the company, production people. It's support staff, it's quality, it's support staff for purchasing people, support staff for quality control peoples. And why it is in referee? How it acts in referee? Because the manufacturer, to make sure the feed was prepared properly and functionally properly processing is there, because quality people will be there to monitor that, to make sure that the feed manufacturer according to the guaranteed specific of nutrition. Because when we are purchasing any raw materials, we are putting in our purchase order, we are putting some guaranteed specifications. So whether it is matching or not, and the quality people, they will control that, and they will make sure that yes, we are getting all the parameters as per our need, our demand, to make sure the feed has the desired medication level and it's free from contaminants. Yes, when we are adding, preparing a feed, when we're adding a medication, there are a lot of medicines or additives are there, so-called additives. So these quality people, the poor quality people, they will ensure that yes, all the medicinal part has been added in a proper ratios, in a proper manner, and the mixing part is also the perfect as per our desiredness, as per our SOPs, to make sure the customer gets what he is paying for. Yes, I am paying for that. If I am a customer, I am paying for some X quality feed. So my quality team is responsible from my quality team. They assure that yes, whatever we are claiming, whatever my marketing and sales guys are claiming for that, yes, they are getting or not. So that is the referees. So, quality people, they will act as a referee and they will make sure that yes, they will get that. And also the FIFO maintenance. Yeah. See, quality papers, adulterants. Yes, the adulterants. Today we are facing a lots in the adulterant part. What are the adulterants? Lot of, it's a maze. We sort of maze. It's nothing will be there. It's a very simple. You purchase maize and you take the maize. In some cases, I found that they are directly from the track. They are putting it into the dumping station. So, but they're not checking their maize. And why they have this fine? They see the one of my clients who has given me these samples in a maize, they got waved grain, they got broken grain, they have a punk wibbles, they have foreign materials, everything was there. But they are avoiding that. The problem is that when you are going for a sampling, sampling takes a vital role in that. When you are taking one or two bags, if you are not properly taking the samples, if you do not take the sample from the middle of the bags or in almost all part of the bag, then there will be a problem. Some bags, when you are mixing all the bags, then what will happen? You will find an average sample. But I'll suggest when you are taking a sample, they collect all the sample from all the bags and find out whether these all the bags are matching with our parameters or not. Because in that case only we can remove those error tariffs. Say when we go for cross checking or the plant auditing, what we found, if we found that the yes, some materials is unloading is going on, we stand there, we'll find each and every bag. We have to check each and every bag whether it's good, it's a matching with the quality or not. If we average it out, then there will be a problem of average samples. So our eye estimation may not capture all those error tariffs. So we have to be careful on that. So there are a lot of just common parameters. I just mentioned here some common parameters. They are adulterants, and particularly in soybean meal. Say in case of soybean meal, I just mentioned for corn. For if you take an example of soybean meal, that in soybean we have sand, we have hull, we have DRB, we have urea, we have NPN. NPN got very high NPN content. Where from the NPN will come in soya DDTs? It should not come. Where from the sand on 2.5% will come? It should not come. In a hyper soya, how will you get the 6% or 7% fiber? It's not possible until or unless you add hulls or other fibers on that. So those are the adulterants we have to be careful about. We have to be very precise on that. We have to be taken care of those parameters before going to any formulations. Then the variability of the other raw materials. There are a lot of variability as there. And variability is the biggest enemy for us, because I told that we have very minimum control on that, because we are purchasing the raw materials, grains or in the beans. So we have a very minimum control on that. So we as a feed, where we are spending a lot This is the single highest cost for any production. And unfortunately, we have a minimal control on their sources. So once we have a variation in the raw materials, we have a variation in our profitability, we have a variation in our quality parameters as well. So we have to prevent those variation. Into that I mentioned already in the time of quality control. If we have a good quality system, good quality checking system, we can at least check, we can control that variation so that I can provide the consistent good quality feed. If we have an improper digestion, if you have an adulterants, if you have some problems in the gut, then we have a improper digestion. It will cost to the producer. It will cost to the even supplier as well. So we need to look into those things in a very proper manner. Also, it limits the inclusion level of many potential raw materials to avoid risks of the formulation. Say, I told, just mention one or two raw materials. There are a lot of unconventional, I should say, it's not regularly used raw materials. It's a better term not to say the unconventional, because we generally prefer to go for corn soya based diet. But in our countries, in India, Nepal, and in several countries, you have to look for some other raw materials as well to minimize the cost and to get the proper performance. If we look into the economically best formulation, we have to depend on some other raw materials as well. But at the same time, there are a lot of toxins, lot of adulterants, lot of unwanted things are there, which limits their uses. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very choosy on that. We have to have a very strict raw materials quality control before using those kind of raw materials. Also, if we do not have this control on that, what will happen? Maybe somebody may think that, okay, I'm giving an extra nutrition, no problem. I'm giving extra protein or extra whatever it may be. But your extra is not good. Birds don't want extra. They want actual. So we have to give the actual nutrition, and we have to be very focused on that. The variables in other ways. I told already in the raw materials part. You see the variables in energy content part, variables in carbohydrates, fats, proteins, amino acids, vitamins. Lot of vitamins are there in the market. Micro and macro minerals. The variation itself in the breeder nutrition, in the recommendation of from the breeder companies. But what they recommend, there are huge variation between one company to others. So we need to be, one has to judge their own brain, the own experience has to be utilized, what kind of formulations or what kind of things are they using to get all those parameters. Yes. So I have given you one example of variabilities. Say there are 333 samples of corn was analyzed, where the moisture level was 9.96% to 19.7%. And if you look into the energy value, it's in 2987 to 3313. It's in huge variations over there. Even if you look into the study of the Rostango 2000 et al. And 2011, he has analyzed the 4 samples based on all those other parameters, moisture, protein, fiber, fat, S, NAP, DM, everything was calculated on the formulation. And the variation is 3177 up to 3386. So it's an almost 200 kilocalorie variation is there. We need to minimize those variations to get the consistent performance on that. In soybean meal, is I have one NIR. So what I found, I saw in a high pro soya, if I say, I got up to 47%. I'm talking about the Indian soya, not the USA soybean meal. But in Indian soybean meal, I got 47% up to 51.7%. So it's a huge variation of protein content. Even in the normal soybean meal, I got a protein of 41 points, I think it's in 41.8 to up to 40, almost 47%. So it's a gap of 5 to 6%. When if we do not take care of those, we are not at all in a position to give a precise nutrition to the birds or to a consistent quality to the birds. Now the NSP content, which is also plays a major role. There are a lot of NSPs present in all the raw materials. I am not going through these because NSP is everywhere. So we need to take care of those NSPs, pentogens, pectins, xylans, mannan, based on your raw materials. Say, but if you use the guar korma meal, it is having a huge mannans. So you have to take care of the mannans. Yeah, otherwise you have a huge arabinogyne. So you have to xylans has to be there. So you have to take care on those. Next is the mycotoxins. So sorry. Sorry. So mycotoxin, I saw it's in poison. Definitely it's in poison. Can you have a mycotoxin? Yes, I have come across a lot, many people. And one of the world renowned nutritionist, once I had a discussion with him, and his view, the toxin binder are IUS. I don't pay for to go for any toxin binder. Is it so? Yes, there are people. Somebody says, yes, mycotoxin is, we can avoid mycotoxin. Someone says, yeah, no, we can't. Someone says, maybe we can. But to me, we are not able to avoid mycotoxin. Because what we are seeing, mycotoxin in the later stage or in the raw materials, it starts from the harvesting. It starts from the cropping. From there, it comes here. And even yesterday evening, I got a test report from one of my clients, and where it is found that they have a very good quality of maize, very good quality of maize, and all the raw materials are maize and soybean based diet, and that was in fact. So they have a very good maize, high pro soya, but still they have a toxins, and also the mold growth is very high. And they were surprised, sir, where from those claims? Yes, it may come. You have to look back. So if we do not have the tracking system, if we can track that till the harvesting, we can get the answer of those things. So to consider that, yes, we cannot avoid mycotoxins. Here, yes, we have some safety margin of poison. I don't know. What is the safety margin for poison? A poison must be a poison. It should not have any safety margins. But still, on the sake of the technicalities, I should say, we have some technical guidelines where we can say, at least for mental, or otherwise, in other words, we can say it's a mental satisfaction for us. Yes, we have some guidelines, or we have some safety margin for that. But I still believe there is no safety margin for any poison. Whether it is say, for example, we have a 20 ppb of aflatoxins is the limit, but I believe if you have even in 2 ppb, definitely it will cause any harm in the bird's body. Anything, it may be immunosuppression, maybe whatever it may be. You may not find the actual toxin effects. We may not observe the typical signs of toxins, mycotoxins, but definitely it will harm the bird's performance. It will restrict the optimum performance of the birds. See, there are just, I have given you on highlights what are the detrimental effects of toxin in the bird's body. See, you see, we have oral lesions for T2 toxins and down. In many cases, we found the reduced feed intake. We are looking for A, B, C, D, E, feed formulation. First blame or definitely on feed formulation. Nutrition is not good, so the birds is not taking the feed. Definitely, second is the plant because the conditioning is not good, or the plant mixing is not good, or else for whoever it may be. But we forget about to look into these toxins. But yes, Don, ochratoxin, they plays a major role to reduce the feed intake. And ochratoxin sometimes is found a very high level of water intake. That is the ochratoxin, which is responsible for that. Immunosuppression, all toxin. I told earlier that it's a poison, and poison always causes the immunosuppression. Overfeeding, yes, Don, T2 and ochratoxin is responsible for that. Intestinal damage, Don, T2, pimenosin, those are kidney. That's burning problem today. Somebody says it's an IBA, somebody says it's an IB, somebody says it's an CAB, somebody says no, it's an ABCD. But yes, aflatoxin, ochratoxin, even in citrulline, that may also causes the kidney damage. Afla, pimenosin, ochra, and they also causes the fatty liver in layer. And Poor Excel quality, definitely Don, T2, aflatoxin, okra, and hemanosins, and others are responsible for that. Beyond nutrition, there is a vicious cycle for hypothesis. What is this? We always think that if we give the higher feed intake, the bird will perform more. If you have a very high level of feed intake with these variations, all those variations, we remember with those variations, with those adulterants or whatever it may be, if you have a very high feed intake, you have a high NSPs contained, and then you have a higher viscosity in the gut, and you have a high coccidiosis and excess supply of then what will happen? That this bacteriosis is caused by the presence of anti-nutritional factors, leading to inflammation and oxidative stress. Then the reduced intestinal functionality. What does it do? When you have a higher level of feed intake, then you have a very excess supply of nutrients in the lumen. And when you have excess, I told that if you have excess is not acceptable, but if you have excess supply of nutrients in the lumen, then definitely there will be chances of a higher Clostridium perfringens or content, because there will be slabbing of mucus. And if you have a high level, feed, then higher nitrogen will be there, higher anaerobic condition will be there, anaerobic condition will be there, and the mucosal sloughing due to the coccidiosis, and it will leading to a higher necrotic enteritis, or bacterial enteritis. Then you have a modified gut morphology and definitely poor digestion, and ultimately you will found there are a lot of undigested feed particles in the litter. Yes, one of my friend, he called me and told, sir, we have a industry friend, definitely. So he told that we found lot of enzymes being used in a liquid form, and still after giving enzymes also, that the undigested food particles, this is still coming out. So this is the system why it is coming out. It's not about the enzyme. It's all about the precision nutrition. What the nutrition are they taking? Whether we are able to take care the proper anticoccidial measurement, or whether we are able to take care the proper unadulterated or actual nutrition. That's the major question to deal with, to come back with those burning problem at moment. Now the next variabilities are the fats and oils. What does it do? Fats and oil. There is huge variation in oil quality. We have, yes, there are a lot of qualities being oil being used: rice bran oil, soybean oil, palm oil, tallow, different blended oil for a fatty acids with glycerin. Lot of things is being used, but the quality, again, there is a question on that. There is a lot of adulterants on that. We found there are some port, it is glycerin is identified, somewhere the impurities are identified, somewhere the acid oil is being infused on that. So we need to judge those when proper, because we have a very poor facility to check all those parameters. We need to check that. We go for a fatty acid compositions. If we go for a fatty acid composition, then we can get all those things at a home. Even if I will suggest to go with free fatty acid, which would be below 5. Peroxide value, I will prefer to go with below 4, and the acidities would be negative. Iodine value, yes, for liquid, we can go for 100 plus minus 10, which is very much acceptable. If we can go for that, except tallow. If we go for that, some parts of palm oil as well, because I believe some of my Myanmar customers, they are also there. So where soybean oil is luxury for that, we cannot use that. We have palm oil, yeah, we have a fish oil. So we have to manage with those. So basically, we need to look into the proper quality system to check all those oil. Another one is the local issues, which you have to take around that. It is restricted in some particular area, ability of some local resources. Say I just give an example of broken rice. Say for example, in India, Chhattisgarh, yeah, I found this is very good quality of broken rice, but the metabolizable energy, it contains more than 3,400 kilocalories, and it's better than the soybean, maize. Even in Myanmar, the broken rice quality is better than that of your maize in terms of energy content. And if you look into other parts, even in some parts of West Bengal or in Bihar, we found a lot of fluctuations are there. Even if some fluctuation varies from 2,700 kilocalorie to up to 3,300 kilocalorie. So there is a wide gap between these two samples. So when we are going to use any local raw materials or locally available raw materials, better we should go thorough evaluation for that particular raw materials, and they will go for that. Now, what is the solution for that? Yes, we talk about a lot of variabilities, a lot of everything. We talk about what are the solutions? Again, I'm telling you, there is no single solutions for that, because already we have a full of variabilities. Full of variabilities. We need to rule out one after another. So the basic four things, the four areas where we need to look into, that is number one is the site of digestion and absorption part. That is a good microflora development, physiological barrier, that is in pathogen control, and immune organs. If we can take those four parameters, if we can take control those four pillars, then definitely we can rule out many things and we can get a good. Say, for example, when we are talking about uses of uses of enzymes, everyone knows that. So the product has to be selected, because you see there is a lot of variation in pH in pH. If we, in the crop it's in 5 to 5.5, in the proventriculars it's in very acidic, and agriculture again it's a little slightly more 5 to 6 and duodenal part, and then it comes to the gradually it is going to the alkaline part. So we have to select such a product which can perform on a range of 5.5 up to this is a wide range of pH. It has to be sustained. See, if we look for a phytase, or if we are going for any enzymes which is degrading or which is liberating their activities in the crop, that means it is started working in 5.5 pH, 5 to 5.5 pH, and it has to pass through a very acidic medium, that is 2.5 to 3.5. So if it is not able to release there, if it is stagnant there, then you will not get the optimum performance or optimum activities from that particular enzymes. So once you are going to select this product, you have to be very choosy on that. The product must have a very strong technical background with all those digital studies. So we have to be very careful of those parts. Now the nutritional requirements. Now, what is the nutritional requirement for that? It's widely varies, because I told earlier that breeder companies, they have a guidelines. As a nutritionist, I think the breeder companies, the specifications that are made for globe, for all the customer in the globe, where it's in India, even in it's in America, or it's in Europe, for everybody, they have a single standards. But it can't be a single standard for entire globe, where there is so much of geographical variations are there, environmental variations there, managemental practices are everything. All the things are variable, and only the nutritional specifications are constant. It can't be. There should have a local level of nutrition requirement. Although the breed is standardized for the entire globe, but based on your environment, based on your local climatic conditions, your nutrition has to be designed such a way so that we can get the optimum genetic potentiality out of all the barriers we have. So those nutritional requirements varies. You have to design your nutrition. You have to design your brain. You have to design your bird's requirement based on your experience, based on your trial and error methods, based on your health as well. What the birds need, whether it needs, how much it needs. Need to provide adequate energy. Somebody I come across with many people, but someone from the Europe, and he told that, oh, I am giving a very low nutritional diet. And when I got this nutritional value, I found that it's almost in starter value, it's almost 3,200 kilocalorie. It's very low for him, because he has taken, as per his data bank, it's very low nutrition. One of my colleague, I should say, is an veterinary colleague. That's the main thing. Even he called me and told, oh, what is the energy requirement to get below 1.4 FCR? So how can you tell that what is the value? Because I don't know what is which data bank he is using. He also don't know what kind of data bank I have. Then it's immaterial. If I take out a figure, yes, it's in 2900 or 3200, it's immaterial for me. Because everyone has their own database based on their last 20 years. So for me, I have a database for the last 20 years. So I know the which raw materials and what variations, what protein, what energy level, what fiber level, or what sucrose content, it will give how much of energy. So that kind of things you have to design for your end. We can only guide you, just like a breeder company. Okay, you can give 3,000 or 3,200 like that. Then ME is to lysine ratios, which is the major part for any feed formulation, because we look for ME first, then we go for the lysine. So the ME is to lysine, that generally, as per Texas A&M University studies, as per them, it's an ME is to that is digestible lysine content gram per 1,000 kilocalorie of ME. They need I think chicken needs 4.3 for 3.7 and 3.2 respectively pre-starter, starter, and finisher. I'm talking about for broiler. For layer will come later, that the ideal amino acid ratios as well. Lysine is to amino acid ratio till valine, you have to go for that. I'll come, it's there. Based on specific amino acid ratios, breed specific amino acid ratio, yes. Breed, they might have some special requirement that we need to talk to the people, breeder companies, and if they have any special requirement for their chicken, then definitely you have to fulfill that. Now, nutritional requirement, variation. I just told that there is a huge variations there. I have just compared for 3 breeds, cow 400, cow 500, and cow Ross 308. So here there is a huge variations there. You see there's 3,000, 2,975, 3,000. Mean grower 3,125, 3,025, 3,125. Cow 500 requires less energy value and less protein and other less amino acids as well. So we need to take care all those things, which breed requires what kind of nutrition. Yes. Sorry. Just what are the amino acids? I told that what kind of amino acid, how many amino acids we need to take care of that. There are 8 of them, mainly 8 of them. What are those? Lysine, methionine plus 16, tryptophan, threonine, arginine, isolation, and valine. Those are 8 essential, I should say now today's in broiler or layer, we need to take care of all those acids. Why? Because they are the amino acid that can be limiting in the commercial diet. So that's the main simple things. So the next question is how we are formulating. How we are formulating protein or amino acid? I think protein acid. I can say I am not looking at all of the proteins content. I go for the amino acid content and the amino acid ratios. And mostly we formulate on the limiting amino acids is these 8. I already told that. Have you moved to from protein? No. Many people I know many people are there who look for protein as well. And some of them ask me, what is the protein content of your diet? So I don't look for that. If you want, I can check and I can tell you, but I don't look for for protein. I am looking for the ideal amino acid ratios. I formulate the diet on the basis of amino acid ratios only. So total amino acid ratio also, I don't look for that. Yes, ideal amino acid, digestible amino acid, we have a lot of data on that. Nowadays, we have almost all the data. If in case you have any raw material which do not have proper digestible data, proper digestible amino acid data, in that case, you have to design your formulation based on either total amino acids or I don't know, because I never come across on that for last at least 7-8 years. So, but maybe you have to do that. But that will cost, I believe that will cost you a lot. So there are on standard digestible variation. There are a lot of data out there. It's available everywhere. So I'm not going for that. If you go for a data of Dr. Ravi Ravindran, he's also having some data because it's in Massey University. They did extensive trials. Professor David Ravi Ravindran and if you go Dr. Abdul Reja, both are have a huge varieties of data on that. So we can get all those things. Now, the questions of ideal amino acid ratios per boiler. Yes, I have just pointed out some ratios. We have to look into that. Based on the lysine 100, we can go for lysine, we can go for methionine. It's in 42, 44, 46. We can go for MAM plus C, 72, 76, 74, 76. What I generally follow on that. Even if you look into that, we have a leucine, valine, and isoleucine. These three are very, very important parameters. These three, I'm telling you, these three are nowadays the main amino acids which is responsible for low feed intake as well. So this branch and facet into branch and amino acids BCCA. So we need to take care of all the parameters that we have. For layers, yes, I have cited some parameters as well, where the lysine is taken care. Again, it's in 100. But yes, I'm just telling you, for Indian conditions, we need to be very careful about these ratios, because if we put these ratios, then we'll get something, we get the bigger eggs. So that may be a problem, or in a little higher body weight, although it will match the standard of the breed. But if we match the standard of the breed, then I believe there will be a problem of a bigger egg and the transportation issues. So because in India, we look for a smaller egg, that is a normal egg, I should say, not the smaller egg, but it's a normal egg. So in normal egg, we need to keep the birds as per proportionate way. So it's a little difficult for that. There again, for layers, the ratios, there is a one part of the ratios. See, in the main thing is that the daily requirement, if you look into the daily requirement, I have just given you some requirement of standard digestible lysine, methionine, methionine plus 16, tryptophan, threonine, arginine, isoleucine, and valine that I just mentioned earlier as well. It also varies based on the feed intake, because in layer, in phase 1, when the birds started in 19 weeks of age or 18 weeks of age, that feed intake will be hardly 90-95 grams. So you have to design your nutrition on that basis, based on the feed intake, because we can't generalize the formulation. We cannot prepare a formulation where the birds, irrespective of feed intake, we can provide them. No, it's not possible, because some birds are taking up your 90-gram feed. If it is a 90-gram, the nutrition has to be balanced. Nutrition has to be fulfilled as per their requirement to get optimum performance on that. Even in the grower part, mostly, and I'm telling you, most of the cases we neglect the growing part phase of a layer bird, which is the most critical part, because this is the main determinant part of their full life cycle. Because the entire system development, starting from the skeletal development, starting from the internal developments, everything, it happens only during this grower's time. So we need to take care of those grower nutrition very precisely, so that we can all the internal organs develop very proper way. Because in today's scenario, the geneticists, they are where from they will get the meat? Where in broiler cases, they are reducing the internal organs. See, recently, if you look into there is, I believe it's an Cup 700 or 700, something like that. I could remember, I cannot remember the proper way. In USA, they have a huge mortality during these below 2 kg, or means you can, sorry, I'm sorry, there is no mortality at all in USA because they rear the bird above 3 kilo. But when those same breed is transported to Brazil, where they have to export their meat to other countries, and they cull the bird in below 2 kg, they have a huge mortality. So that the way they found that, yes, this mortality is due to the breed, due to the smaller smaller level of their heart when compared to the body mass growth. So the birds has a very high body mass growth, and the heart, it cannot cope up with those growth, so that when we are culling in the very early stage, the birds get the mortality increases. Even if you cull it in the later stage, then the growth pattern, the ratios between the growth mass and the heart, that compensates somehow. So there will be no problem. So based on these, I'm coming back to these. This is the grower phase is the most critical part we need to look into. Also, the layer phase, based on the feed intake, we have to design the nutritional formulation, and so that the daily requirement has to be fulfilled. Now, I told that enzyme, everyone knows that the role of enzyme in in poultry industry. It's a very very quality. The only thing is that it's because see, we look for in additives part. I generally categorize it into three parts. One is the nutritional additives, another is the essential additives, and another one is the ornamental additives. So nutritional additives, the additives, those are contributing directly, or those are used as a raw material directly. So enzyme is one of them. I'm telling you broad category of enzyme, it includes all the enzymes, phytase, protease, NSPase, everything it includes, because it contributes energy, it contributes protein. So that as in more than a raw material, so the lesser cost, it has a very much contribution on that. Emulsifier or lipase, yes, it is also having it also acts as a nutritional additives. Essential additives, there are a lot. I'll comment. There's amino acids, vitamins, minerals, garden products, or a lot of ornamentals. In some cases, say you are sign color development, pigments. So pigments are ornaments. This is not required by the birds, because it's required by the human being for the better lookup. So these are all ornaments. So coming back to the enzymes, it's a variation in its quality. There is no specific. The problem is there is no specific international units except phytase. So every company, they have their own units, they have their own trial reports, and they have their own way of expressions and the testing methods. So when we are judging, when we are selecting a product, it must have a strong technical background. It must have the testing protocols so that you can test with these protocols in anywhere. Sometimes it is my experience. One of the company, he collects an enzyme sample from some X company, and then he send it to his lab, and he has found the enzymes in nil. Then they come and they show the customer, you see, you are using this enzyme, ABE enzyme, it is having no activity at all. But so you are wasting your money. Is it so? No, because that's a completely different level of testing procedures, because the enzyme activity, it depends on your age, temperature, stability, many parameters are there. So when you are judging any parameter, any enzyme, you have to look into the technical backup. If you want to test it, you ask for the protocol, you take the protocol, give it to some third-party companies or in a well-approved lab, and then you send the sample. They will definitely give you the actual content of the enzymes. The phytase, the first enzyme which is required for that, I believe everyone knows that, because I am taking too much time, so I am little first now. So phytase, it's really everyone knows that it has main contributions of calcium and phosphorus. Also, it's sustainable. It is required to for the environmental safety as well, because the phosphorus, the phytate, particularly the phosphorus storage of if you look into the global storage, it is reduced by almost 40 to 45%. So we need to preserve the phosphate. Otherwise, after maybe 100 or 200 or 1,000 years later, our upstreams or generations, they will not find any phosphorus anymore in the world. I don't know if it is found in the moon. Definitely, we will come. We can brought that from there, but still we are in a very scarcity condition. We need to be very careful about that, so that we can use the phytase with the full matrix value, even in the superdose, or even there are three concepts: superdose, extra superdose, whatever you fit, you can use there, and definitely will get some contributions on that. Next is the immunostimulations. Yes, immunity. I told that 4 parameters. If you can remember that, one is the digestion and absorptions. Another one is the modification of the gut. Third one is the prevention of the pathogens. That I will say later. And fourth one is the immunization. So once we are making any formulation, we need to take care of the immune organs of the birds. Either it's in broiler, or it's in layer, or it's in the breeder. We need to know the immunity has to be so strong, because the birds are not reared in a sterile condition. They are always in a stressful condition. What I told in the third or fourth slide. So the immunity level has to be boosted up in every point, so that they can fight against all those unwanted parameters. So what happens if you have a immunochallenge? What in disease conditions, it increase the metabolic rate. It increases the metabolic rate. The fever, loss of appetite will be there, and reduction in serum, zinc, selenium, and iron content. These three things reduces when there is a challenge, when there is a disease condition, and immunocompromisation was there. So we need to select the things, vitamins, amino acids, minerals to boost those immunities. So what are the vitamins? Vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin D3, C, folic acid, and B12. Those are responsible for your immunity purpose. Amino acids, yes, tryptophan, arginine, histidine, cysteine, isoleucine, leucine, valine, and glutamate. Those are also responsible for your immunity part. Now the selection of additives, selection of use of minerals and required in form. Heavy, it should be in a proper form, either it's in inorganic or organic will come later, but definitely it should be in a proper form and free from adulterants. Compare vitamins with the pure vitamins, not the salt, because some vitamins it contains 88% of pure vitamins. Some content is maybe a 50% of say vitamins. So you need to compare the pure form, not the salt content. Salt content may be 50%, but the birds do not need the salt, they need the actual vitamin. So actual vitamin has to be given. The gut health maintenance is also very, I told already, antibiotic versus non-antibiotics is I prefer non-antibiotics, and specific consideration from virtual nutrient contribution that I already mentioned in enzyme in phytase. Tolerance level of heavy metals in meat. Yes, we have so far the data goes, it's in cadmium is 0.05, lead is 0.3, and the mercury is 0.03 in poultry international 2002. But I believe the heavy metal should be nil, because I don't want any heavy metal in my meat. If I want to use any, if you want to consume any meat, I will prefer the meat which do not have any heavy metal on that. There are some guidelines in European Union, so but I think we should be careful that so that the heavy metal should not be there. So I already mentioned that the additives part. Now the minerals, the two vital things, minerals and vitamins. The minerals, which one is better? Inorganic, organic? There are a lot of contributions, a lot of controversy was there. There are a lot of researchers, a group of researchers, they told no, inorganic is good. Somebody they know organic is good. In my belief, I believe, personally believe, even with the strong documents, or you can say technical data, with a lot of trials in my own areas. So organic minerals are much better than inorganic minerals, but it has to be a organic, purely organic one, because what does it do? It increases the up regulation of the genes, and down regulates and reduces the down regulation of the genes. So up regulations happens once you have a good organic minerals. So definitely it will give you the optimum performance level. NRC recommendations for inorganic, I have question on that. I will not comment on that, but I don't because I don't use inorganic, so there's no question for go for that. Now, interesting fact is that somebody tell, no, I am using inorganic, or I am using organic, or whatever it may be, ABCD. I am happy with the result. Is it so? I am not seeing any deficiency syndrome. No deficiencies there, so I'm okay. Are you getting optimum performance? That is the main question on that. Because yes, you are not in deficient zone. If you look into the thing, see, this is the optimum zone where you will get the optimum performance level. Even in NRC recommendation zone is this in subclinical level where you will not get the deficiency, but definitely you will not get the optimum performance zone. Once you have a deficiency zone, that means it's really severely deficient, then only you will have the negative impact on that. Even in minerals, if you supply more minerals, again you will get the problem will over, and you will get good performance. So it indicates that if until or unless you are in this deficient or clinical zone, you will do not have any problem on that. I mean, you will not find any clinical symptoms on that of mineral deficiency. So it does not mean that your minerals uses of minerals is good, or you are in getting optimal. No, you are not finding clinicals, but you are not in optimum performance zone where you may get if you have a good minerals, or if you incorporate the actual required minerals, then you may get the actual optimum level of performance. There are some NRCs versus organic, which I prefer. The combination the bird should have, or this kind of even if you add in the diet, I will prefer those kind of variations. Same concept is for vitamin as well. See, vitamin, we have to be very careful about the vitamin composition. because it is having the three zones, that is a deficiency zone, marginal deficiency, or you can say the subclinical zone, or in the clinical zone, or in the excess zone. If you do not have the optimal, if you want optimal performance, you must have to have the optimum vitamins level. And the vitamin composition has to be of yours, based on your diet, based on your formulation. You can design what kind of vitamins you are looking for, and what should be the concentration for that. And based on that, you can ask any companies, if you can use the studied vitamins, it's good. If not, you can ask the other companies to prepare that. And the beauty is that in the vitamin part, in the premix part, there is a very wide range of variations are there. Means if you taste the vitamin level, if you taste the premix level, then you may get a variation of 25 to 43%, which is internationally accepted. So once the vitamin has been prepared, once the premix has made, then I think it's very difficult to judge whether the vitamin is optimum or not. So you need to go with a brand, you need to go with the good companies, or you must have a trial unit where you can put 2 or 3 vitamins vitamin added feed, so that you can get the actual data, or which vitamin is giving the best performance and which or not. So this is a simple example of my vitamin composition, what I prepared. That is in an IU. You can see this is a vitamin A to biotin. This is entirely my composition. I generally give to my clients to get those kind of variation based on that. Then gut health. You see, gut health maintenance is a major challenge for us. We need to look into the villi length and crib depth, because it increases, not only increases the digestion side, it also prevent the the bacteriostatic actions by so the acidifier plays a major role, out of which the butyric acid definitely a good one. And other parts, the modulation of gut microflora, because when the chicks comes out from the hatchery, they have one kind of gut microfloras. Then once it get into the feed and different stress conditions, they have others. So based on that, you need to use prebiotics, probiotics, phytobiotics, acidifiers, short chain fatty acids, or medium chain fatty acids. So there are a lot of combinations or individuals or states products are available which can modulate the intestinal gut to get the actual performance out of it. So it's not, there is no straight line between that, that yes, I can use this product and I'll be free from all those things, I'll get optimum. No, not for that. It varies a lot. It may be possible that someone is active in some areas and others not. So based on your requirement, based on your areas, you have to design and you have to select those products. Bacteriophages, a very old concept, you can say, but these are, in my experience so far, these are very good in liquid form. Feed images, yes, the other products are there. I am not able to comment on that because I have never tasted for that. So if it is good, then there will be really will be a very good tool for us to control, you can say, other products like pathogens like antibiotic resistant E. coli or salmonella or clostridium, whatever it may be, because claim is something different than the actualities. So if it really works, if bacteriophage withstand with this palating temperature, then definitely I'll be happy on that. And we'll definitely look for that. We have a good level of scientists who may come into this. Coccidia, I told that coccidia and bacterial interaction, if you look into this vicious cycle, the coccidia, which is the major player for this is, you can say, it's a brother, twin brother, coccidia and the clostridium. So once you have cocci, definitely you have a sloughing of mucus, and there will be more anaerobic conditions, and necrotic enteritis will be there. And we need to control that. First, you have to look into the coccidia control, and then any. Because if we are not able to control the base, we are not able to control the any. There are ways, yes, essential oils plays a major role on that, but essential oil has only it increases the controlled inflammation. You know, there are two kind of inflammations are there in the gut. One is the controlled inflammation, another is the uncontrolled inflammation. Uncontrolled inflammation is due to the bacteria or due to the pathogens, and the control inflammation, that means it is a healing process. So we can use that, but remember, if you are not able to control cocci, we are not able to control the other part. So first of all, most important thing is that we need to control the good coccidia prevention control. There are ways, there are a lot of molecules are there, the latest concept, there are some essential oil based products are available, coming out in the market. It's well available in Europe, but here also it is coming up. So we can look into that. We can try and taste, and we can use that to control this coccidiosis. Emulsifier, that is also I told that it's a nutritional emulsifier. Yes, we need to break down for the measles formations or for fat digestion, but it's very much required. Again, there is a controversy whether the latest conception, somebody says yes, we don't want emulsifier, lipase will be good. Lipase will work on that. We need more trial on that. But to me, I will prefer the emulsifier to form these emulsifications, and it must have a very, because a lot of products are available in the market. So we need to be very careful about the product selections, and good products definitely will always work, and it will pay for you. It will pay for you. Second, and the latest concept that I told, that is the branch chain amino acids. This is three amino acids that I told already mentioned. That is in your lysine, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. The problem is that if you have a more leucine content, if you have a more leucine content in the diet, some cases, if you use some corn byproducts, or if you use some corn gluten meal or corn DDGS, where the leucine content is more. If you have a more leucine in the diet, then what will happen? The automatically isoleucine and valine requirement will be high. So it's like, you can see, it's like in the, see if you can match with the mycotoxin. If you have a mycotoxin in the diet, if you have a mycotoxin problem in the diet, or high mycotoxin in the diet, then what will happen? The requirement of the other nutrients will be high. So once you have a higher nutrient requirement, then you have to give more nutrient to adjust that things. So it's better that you prevent this mycotoxin. Here also, same thing, in branch chain amino acids, when you have a higher leucine content, then the automatically the isoleucine and valine requirement will be high, so that you have to give more isoleucine and more valine. So this is, you need to take care. Already I have mentioned in ideal amino acid ratios concept. There I have mentioned all those. If you follow that, definitely you will not be in a problem. Another problem that is in a low stool issues. There are in many areas where there are huge. There are a lot of reasons for that. In many areas where some salty saline water was there. Where if you have a high saline water in the diet in water, then definitely you have a low stool problem. So you have to balance the sodium and chlorine and accordingly. In some areas where you have a very low level of sodium in water, then you need to mainly you have to balance your diet based on your environmental conditions. So there are a lot of ways to prevent the loose stool. I have just mentioned here, but I will not go for details because it is take again time. Now, I think it's the last slide for me. Last slide for these boring topics. I don't know, but yes, there is no single bullet or single magic bullet for that. Everyone has. I have mentioned each and every. I tried to mention each and every point which our nutritionist has to take care during their formulation to balancing their nutrition. The strategy should be based on the objective and goal. The main thing is that I do not have any single bullet. I have to make a strategy which is based on my objective, what I am looking for, whether I am looking for a high rapid growth bird, or I am looking for a slow growth bird, or where I am looking for a very bigger egg size, bigger egg from the layer, or in a normal egg, or I am looking for a bigger bird or in a smaller bird. So based on that, you have to design your nutrition. Don't go by the flow. I don't. Everyone is going, oh, perhaps it's good. Why so? It may not be. Rather, go by the science. Science is more important. Whether this flow is having any science or not. If it is there, definitely I will go with them. If it is not, then no. Select the product having a strong technical background. I told that if I have to select any product, definitely I will select those products which is having very strong technical backgrounds, technicalities on that. And also I will test in any local areas that whether it is product is performing or not. Does the product at local level is maintain the protocol? Protocol has to be maintained. It's not like that I'm just putting in a farm, one product I'm putting in a feed and offering in a farm, and another product I'm putting in other feed farm and giving to the B farm, and then I'm comparing. You see, two farms and then side by side, two farms are there, and I have given the two different kind of feed, and one feed is performing, another is not. That means your product is bad. That is not the case. You have to maintain the protocol. You have to have in a single set with all the product, maintaining all the protocols. Otherwise, there are a lot of variations are there. Maybe the chicks variations are there. Or what I told just now, for last 1 hour, I am just giving all the variations there. And ultimately, take the help of a nutritionist or the technical person who are the best judge, who are the best person to give you the actual ideas and actualities, what the actual thing, what the actual birds is required, and what kind of things we have to offer for that. That is the main thing we need to for that. With this, I would like to thank you. Thank you for your patience, and I would love to hear your the questions if you have. If not, then I'll be happy. That means everyone has understood all the things. Maybe there's a boring one. If it is there, I will try to solve. I will try to give the answers. If I not, definitely I'll mail them and subsequent time. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience.
So thank you, Dr. Abhijit, for this informative session. Now I request all the participants to share your queries in chat box. So after 5 minutes, we'll start reading that questions, queries, and Dr. Abhijit Mishra will answer that queries. So meanwhile, within 5 minutes, you can share your queries in chat box. So during the 5 minutes, I just elaborate what is Chembond Group. Chembond Chemicals Limited was established in 1975 by Dr. Vinod Shah. It was listed on the BSE in 1995 and the NSE in 2009. We have 750 plus group employees. We have a pan-India footprint in manufacturing, sales, and services. Our R&D and head offices is in Navi Mumbai. We have pan-India presence. So we have our head office in Navi Mumbai, and we have our manufacturing unit in Tarapur. We do cater in dairy, poultry, and aqua for feed supplements and feed additives. We have our own manufacturing units for prebiotics, probiotics, enzymes, feed additives like emulsifiers, then organic acids. Then we have some farm management solutions also. We blend vitamins and minerals that is required for animal feed production at our own facility. Now I would like to invite Nilesh Ruke, who is our product development in charge. Please, Nilesh.
Hi everyone, myself Nilesh Ruke. I'm looking for product development for animal feed supplement. We are like Chembond Group is a research and development based like company. As Dr. said, we have an R&D center at Mahape. We mainly do the research and development for the enzyme, probiotics, and prebiotics manufacturing. We have lots of strains manufactured, lots of studies been done for that strains, and we have developed for various applications like poultry, cattle, aqua. We are doing manufacturing of enzyme by SSF technology. We have a submerge as well, but mainly focused on SSF to get familiarized or to standardize the process we have developed. And we have lots of enzymes to break down the NSPs and all. So we have a customized solutions in terms of enzymes and probiotics. So whatever query or suggestions from your end, we are there for the solution as a Chembond Group. We have an in-house manufacturing for all feed additives. We have a Famicare certification for enzyme and probiotics for manufacturing plant at Mahape location. We have like FDA certification as well. We do stringent, we follow stringent norm for production and application for the enzymes and probiotics as well as for the feed additives.
Thank you. And, effective and high quality animal feed production. So in product category like enzymes, probiotics, we have single and multi-strain probiotics, and our umbrella brand is Chembond. So under this Chembond group, we manufactures probiotics, that is single and multi-strain probiotics, specially designed according to the feed mill processes. So these products are highly thermostable, compatible with other additives. We developed a ROI matrix for every product that we manufacture at our facilities. These probiotics are trialed and backed up with field and institutional trials. So these products are well accepted at farm level. In organic acids, that is feed and gut acidifiers, also we manufacture inorganic plus organic acidifiers that is used in poultry. Then we have different types of toxin binders, that is a clay-based toxin binders we have. We also have enzymes, that is individual and multi-enzymes that helps in promoting gut health in poultry. We have balanced emulsifiers that actually used for energy optimization. And we do have mineral premixes and vitamin premixes. So there are all the offerings that is actually required for feed manufacturers. We have all the products for feed manufacturers and poultry farmers. So these all products directly and indirectly contributing to the enhanced nutrition for the birds. So if you have any product requirement, we have pan-India basis, we have our team. For South and West, we have Mr. Rillaverli Viraya. For North Zone, we have Mr. Rajesh Bist. And for East Zone, Mr. Somnath Banerjee is there. For your sale related queries, you can contact to these persons. If you have product any query related to product, you can directly contact to me or Dr. Rakesh Tiwari or Dr. Saurabh Kaute. So now I'm going to read all the queries that I received in chat box. So I'm audible, Dr. Abhijit.
Yeah, you are.
So, sir, there is a first question from Yash Prasanna. That is, up to how much percentage of moisture can be considered acceptable in maize for storage purpose? That is first question. Then, what is the recommended storage duration for maize to be used in poultry feed plant? That is the second question. And third one is, which mycotoxin binders are recommended for use? So, sir, first one is, how much percentage of moisture can be considered in maize for storage?
It's better as less as it's possible. You can store up to, you see, if in normal condition, you can store up, you can take up to 14%. Yes, you can. But in some cases, you can add, even you can add 1 or 2% more. But in that case, you have to add some acidifier or mold inhibitor for that. You have surfactant like products that you can add that. And by adding these, you can keep the product, I think, even in 1 year. But the silo, if you're storing in the silo, be careful about the silo ventilation. It has to be proper silo, good silo, and the ventilation part has to be properly maintained, so that you can keep it up to 1 year without any problem, because regular fumigations and everything, part of the process, the fumigation, the ventilation, everything you have to take care on that. Then you can go over on that. And third question, which mycotoxin binder is the best? You have to go by again, you have to look into the technicalities of the product, whether this mycotoxin binder is able to bind all the toxins like aflatoxin, ocra-T2, or radon, or whatever fuminosins, other toxins. What are the technical studies they have? And also you have to look into the nutrient binding capacities of those particular toxin binder. So if you can look into those parameters, then you can automatically select the toxin, which toxin binder is the best.
Thank you, doctor. The second question is from Muhammad Asif Iqbal. Which test is mandatory for oil for acceptance? Is there any correlations of different fat tests? For example, an increase or decrease of any test result, other test will be variable. Will FFA increase PV or IV? Will be increased or not? So if you understand this question, then answer, doctor, or else we move to next question.
I can understand that which parameters is we need to look into. You see, basically we have to, for a while, I told we need to look into the free fatty acid, peroxide value, rancidity, and iodine value. If you have a more FFA, that means you will have, whether a lot of studies are there, you will have a lower energy value for that. If you have a higher PV, that means the oil tends to oxidize. So even if you have a negative rancidity positive, that means that the oxidations happens. So you should know there are two kinds of oxidation, and the hydroxyl oxidation and oxidation. So this rancidity is also a very important parameter for that. So you need to look into those three parameters. Iodine value, it indicates which one, whether the product is more over the saturated or unsaturated part. So I think these four parameters you have to look into. And if you have a higher value, then definitely you have a negative impact on the feed.
Thank you, doctor. The second question is how much metabolic energy we can consider for enzyme matrix in broiler and
doctor, your voice is breaking. How much metabolic? I just go for the.
How much metabolic energy we can consider from enzyme matrix in broiler and layer formulation?
See, it depends on the enzyme manufacturing company. I think Chembond, you doctor, you people also can say better way, because it varies. It based on, see, there is no thumb rule for that. It's widely varies. Some is having, you can say in broiler, it's on 75 to 100 and I think 75 to 160 based on your the enzyme concentration, based on your substrate present in the diet. Whether it's a maize-based diet or in a wheat-based diet, if it is in a wheat, the more substrate will be there. So it depends. There is wide range is there. And in case of layer, definitely little bit lower energy level will be there, but still it's up to 60 to, I think 110, 120 is the claim was there, what I come across with the technical literatures. So it again based on the technical inputs from the particular enzyme manufacturing company. Or otherwise, you can go with the your own study, where you can put different matrix values, and you just check which matrix value is suitable for your population.
Thank you, doctor. Doctor, one of our participants want to know whether trace organic minerals or that is the inorganic mineral. Which one is the good for broiler and layer performance?
So definitely I will go for the organic minerals. I told earlier also during my presentation as well, I will prefer to go with organic minerals, organic chelated minerals, because it is a lot of benefits on that. Number one, it is having it regulates the gene. So you will have a better performance on that. And secondly, you have a much better bioavailability of the particular minerals. And third, there will have a very minimum interactions between minerals and others. Okay, but be careful, it has to be properly mineral, organic minerals, and it should be free from heavy metals.
Sir, one of our participants asking the energy requirements of broiler for a particular day gain performance should be considered using genetic company recommendation or by calculating maintenance and production requirements.
It's very difficult to calculate the maintenance and production requirement, because we have, I told you, we have a huge number of variabilities, and the maintenance requirement varies based on, depends on the the external factors. So definitely you have to select the energy value, calculating maintenance and production parameter, considering maintenance and production parameters, but the total value has to be considered so that the birds will get the optimum energy value. But it's very difficult to calculate the daily energy requirement in an open farm or in different environmental conditions.
Does product like moss have good ROI if good quality acidifier, AGP, probiotics, and enzymes are already being used?
Sorry, can you please repeat this question?
Does product like moss have good return on investment if good quality acidifier, AGP, probiotics, and enzymes are already being used?
Okay, that means I could understand that if you have a AGP, acidifier, probiotics, everything in the diet, then moss will have any impact or not.
Right, right.
Yeah, moss will have a little bit impact will be there. Even if you have all the things, but still moss is having some different kind of activities. So definitely it will give you some benefit. You may not get the exact benefit of what the moss alone can give, but if you have a combination of products, which is called the multidimensional approach to prevent non-antibiotic era, which is the major thing. So if you add that, definitely it will contribute something. It will not negatively impact it. Definitely it will have some positive impact.
Right, sir. Sir, there is a question like for antibiotic-free broiler feed production, what feed additive combinations we will suggest, or you have good response from feed?
See, for non-antibiotic, there should not have a single product. You have to have a multi-dimensional approach on that. You should have maybe, see, there are options. We have probiotic, phytobiotic, essential oils. You can say it's acidifier, moss and glucans. You have a prebiotic, probiotic, everything. You have all those the short and medium chain fatty acids. So you have a wide range of products. Even some herbal products are also was there. So you have to choose those products so that there should not have any overlapping in the activities of each other, but both have the identical action on the gut.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there is further question from Dr. Greenmay Pauli that for which minimum percentage of fat content of feed emulsifier is mandatory.
Can you please repeat it? Your voice is breaking again.
Hello.
Can you please repeat the question?
Doctor is asking that at what at minimum percentage of fat the content of feed emulsifier is mandatory. But means he's asking a dose for feed emulsifier.
Okay. Inclusion of oil versus emulsifier uses.
Right,
This is the
right,
question, no? So
right.
okay. So see, basically, it based on even if you do not have oil also, if you have intrinsic oil, then also there are some studies where it was found that the zero inclusion level of fat with the inclusion of high fat content like full fat soya or your full fat rice bran, again also emulsifier has some roles. Okay. So I'll believe if you have a minimum percentage of minimum oil, even I'll go for even if you have a 0.5 to 1 kg, then also you will get some, at least it may not be the remarkable, but you will get some benefit out of it.
Doctor, there is a question from Dr. Sandeep. High humidity, what parameters we take care while formulating a feed?
See, high humidity means you have a discomfort index, you have a more discomfort index. That means birds will be under tremendous stress on that. There will be huge panting will be there, but so you have to have some prevention so that the stresses will be less. You have to have some amino acids like say maybe arginine. Arginine level should be high so that the heat increment will be less. You will have lesser stress on that. You will have some anti-stress drugs that is also keep the birds calm. So in this way, you can design your feed.
Sir, one of our participants asking, do you have experience in broiler rearing on mash feeds?
Yeah. A lot of clients are there.
Okay.
Even in UP also, I have clients who are doing integration with complete with mass feed only.
Yeah, one of our client asking how
with
can
excellent
manage...
weight. Even the result that I have shown in broiler That is in mass feed report only. The
Oh,
first
great.
one, 33 days.
Good. So the next question is, how can we manage and treat toxicity in broiler?
Anticoccidia.
No, how can we manage and treat toxicity in broiler?
And treat toxicity in broilers. Remove the toxic components. Only one way you can, if you in one way if you are injecting in toxins, and other way you are saying that I need preventions, it's very difficult. The thing is that if you know that you have a toxicity, some toxicity, that means you have to go back, you have to screen your all the raw materials. There might have some problem, so maybe on pesticides or chemicals or whatever it may be, you have to identify and you have to rule out those causes. And time being, for a treatment purpose, based on the particular toxicity, you have to treat accordingly. You have to add some toxin binders, good level of toxin binders, or whatever. If you have chemical toxins or other toxins, then you have to take care of the kidneys and livers, all those. The best way, you have to to remove the causes.
Okay, thank you, doctor, for your
Thank you.
insightful session. So there is a question from our team member. Generally, how much quantity amino acids in 1 ton of feed requirement?
Sorry, generally how much?
Quantity of amino acids in 1 ton of feed.
How much quantity of amino acids? See, there are
If you
8
have-
amino acids. I generally look into the 8 amino acids. Okay. The lysine, methionine, methionine plus 16, threonine, tryptophan, arginine, isoleucine, and valine. These 8 amino acids generally I look into. I have already shared the ideal amino acid ratios. Generally, I follow that amino acid ratios, and based on the raw material, automatically my software takes the which amino acids required and how much it is required, and based on that I make the formulation.
Okay, thank you, doctor. Doctor, so many participants asking the content. So on that, I will talk you later and revert them. So thank you all of you for your active participation. So I invite Dr. Rakesh Tiwari for vote of thanks.
Dr. Abhijit. I hope I'm audible to you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So once again, good afternoon, doctor. It was really a great presentation. On behalf of my all distinguished audience, I express my sincere gratitude for your presentation on such a practical and important topic, and that is really a need of ours. Your expertise and passion on this subject matter was really evident, and your insight provided a new perspective on poultry nutrition, and that made all of us to think on importance of poultry nutrition, and definitely will get maximum benefit from your presentation, and our customer will look into their formulation, and definitely it will help them to prepare a better feed for good productivity and good profitability. In your presentation, we all were thoroughly engaged and learned a great deal from your discussion. In closing, we are profoundly grateful to our all audience for their valuable time and contribution. And definitely, we hope to have you again in future to get more information and this kind of valuable topics from you. I would also like to express my gratitude to Chembond Biosciences Limited Management, Rasmi Ma'am and Dr. Sanjay Sir, for organizing such a great event for our valuable customer. And I'm very sure this is going to help a great to our customers, and they will able to get good productivity and profitability from your information. So thank you, doctor, again.
Thank you, team Chembond. Thank you for this arranging this one. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.